How was camp today?
Long.
Yeah,
but it's great. I mean, I love working with the kids. So, like, I mean, you can make a kid's day. So that was fun. We had like a slip and slide at the end, and
like outside.
Yeah, like we set up a slip and slide. Coach Smith sets up a slip and slide, and everybody brings like a change of clothes, and so they did that, or we did that, and everybody was going, and I had my polo and dress shorts on, and I decided I was going to go down the slip and slide. Ended up going down at about
in your polo and dress shorts.
Yeah, ended up going down at about 15 times.
Oh my, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was a good day. But I literally left the office an hour ago. So
really,
yeah. So a little 12-hour shift.
But tomorrow's the last day, right?
Last day of camps. Yep. So got to finish strong. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm good.
More than just alive and kicking.
Just busy, man. I mean, me and Tata, the head manager, greatest head manager in the country, by the way. So right now we don't have our court down. We're getting a new court, right? So there's like a court, it's like one of those old, like linoleum floors or whatever, like underneath and so anyway, we're getting a new court. So we got to go to Keene, which is like the old gym. So that's where our practices pick up. That's where all that stuff is. Not the shooting group. Shooting groups are doing the gentry. But anyway, so Ty and I, we have to gather up towels, water bottles, speaker. What else? There's one more thing. Oh, and the basketball. So we got to gather them up all the time, like every single day. So if practice is 3, me and Tata got to get going at 2:00 and I literally pull my car up to the gentry. We load everything up, drive over to Keene, which is it's just across campus, but it's not a direct route, obviously. And so and then, when it's done, hey guys, we need the balls, got to put them up, take them up to the desk, load everything back in the car. So we've been doing, we've been doing that. I've been doing that every day, and it's god awfully hot.
Yes,
it's god awfully hot. But anyway, man, yeah, that's what I've been doing. So
we're all a little spoiled the way everything functioned last year during this time.
Man, we're spoiled in general. Forget last year. We're spoiled in general.
Well, yes, and I say that, and I'm trying to be sensitive. I want to be sensitive about it too. Obviously, COVID was not easy for a lot of people.
Can we talk about this, Nathan? I mean, you and our teams had very different records this year. How much fun was this year outside of the wins that you had?
I thought it was blessed.
Did you?
Yeah, I enjoyed this year.
Well, it was great to play. I'm not saying it wasn't great to play, but was it as fun as other years?
Yes. I mean, strictly because you were in it with a group of people together. Like, no matter if you're going through a tough time or an easy time, it's fun together. Now, are you saying just because of all the ins and outs, all the COVID tests, all the swabs up your nose, like that stuff wasn't fun, obviously. But I mean, it was a challenge, and I mean, the group of guys that we had around us made everything pretty enjoyable.
Okay, all right, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
but no, I don't ever want to have another year where it's a 19 game schedule and I have to have a COVID swab up my nose twice or 2 or 3 times a week. No, I would prefer not to do that.
Nathan, it was not as fun as it just wasn't.
Okay.
I think I'm not. It was great to play. It was great to have games, but it was not the same level of enjoyment that I've experienced in the past with college basketball.
Well, that's fine. And there were definitely some moments.
And that has nothing to do. I mean, that's the whole land. That's everything.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't completely 100% disagree with you, but I mean, I managed to find some positive through it all, and it was a fun time. So
of course, and dude, that's what we have to do. I mean, even when we were players and as coaches now, there are going to be days and months and time periods where you got to find the fun and things. I mean, at military school, I had
the dadgum fun and things.
I mean, dude, I had at military school, we had every reason to complain. We were getting up at 6 a.m., had to be dressed in formation by 6:15. But, you could sit there and complain about it and be miserable, or you could try to find some fun in it. And, that's as an athlete, as a coach, as a player, as a competitor, that's what you have to do, regardless of the circumstances, I think.
100%. All right, so are you saying it wasn't as fun in the sense of
it just felt like, dude, we had to go through an obstacle course just to play a game. I mean, it just it wasn't fluid. The game days weren't the same. It wasn't the same vibe. Obviously, we don't have to talk about the no fans, but it wasn't the same. And I don't think it was as enjoyable.
It definitely was not the same. I completely agree with you on that. The enjoyment factor for me was we still got to compete. I mean, at least we got. We got to have a season.
I'm not complaining about that. We still got to compete. We still got to play.
And we have two different views on this. I actually thought that although there was not fans, right as the game started, I was in a gym and we were playing and nothing changed. You had a different perspective, and it was like, dude, it's just not the same.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our band is second to none, and so when they're not there,
that's fair. That's very fair. That's very fair. Did you see the possible Kawhi news?
Yeah. Well, have they confirmed that it's a torn ACL? I heard it was ACL injury.
They're thinking it's probably an ACL injury.
Did you see LeBron's tweets?
So what did you think about his knee? Are you worried about Kawhi or?
I didn't see the injury. I don't know what happened. I heard that I guess he did tweak it or something, and that was noticeable weird in the game, but he still played. If that dude still played, I'm not an expert. I'm not a surgeon. However, I've torn 2 ACLs before. If it's a full blown torn ACL,
He's the Terminator, dude.
He is. He's a robot. I mean, he's a robot.
I hope he's not. I hope it's not, because
I hope it's not either.
I just think for the playoffs. I just said
the last podcast, Nate. I mean, I like the dude.
Yeah, I just think for the playoffs, I think everybody wants to probably see a Suns Clippers.
Yeah.
Suns Clippers, Nets or Bucks versus Sixers or Hawks. I say that
dude,
with
I would much rather see Sixers Nets as opposed to the Bucks.
What's up, man? What's the word, fellas? What's good?
Man, hey, so we're talking, what series would you rather watch? Sixers Nets or Bucks Nets?
Or either of them versus the Hawks.
Sixers Nets, Bucks Nets. Probably Bucks Nets. Probably Bucks Nets, because I think Atlanta, like if Brooklyn plays Atlanta, it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a good series.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be a good series. The Philly series won't be bad if they. I mean, it won't be not Philly. The Philly Nets series won't be as bad. I think that'll probably go like maybe 6, 7.
That could easily go 6, but that Hawk series is dead on arrival.
Yeah, that's raps. They went in that in 5.
Yeah,
and that's probably without Harden or Kyrie. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I like this Bucks. I like this Bucks Nets series, man. I just want to see how Giannis. I want to see how he responds. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I want to see how he responds, because the last game kind of hurt him, man. It hurt him a lot. You know what I mean?
It would hurt me too if I dropped a pass that hit me right in the stomach.
Oh, absolutely.
Man.
Jamal, we were talking today amongst the staff and talking about how, obviously KD just had a all-time classic performance, a legacy performance. But what happens if Giannis comes out and, they're down 3? What happens if Giannis comes out and he drops 38 first game, game 6, and then game 7 he comes out and he drops, 40? I mean, and then how does that narrative change?
I'll change it. I think it changes completely.
Because right now, Giannis is down here, and KD, which rightfully so, is way up there.
Absolutely. I think it all predicates. I think the narrative does change for Giannis, but like best player in the league, I think that still goes to KD because I think KD's going to have – if they go 7, I think KD's capable of having those type of performances for 2 consecutive games. And I think it's just a matter of the moment too. I think if Giannis can come up clutch in tight moments, that'll change the narrative too. Because right now, like
he's got to have a moment, and he hasn't had a moment yet.
Well, it's tough for him too. He's not a guy that's going to create his own shot.
Facts.
So, I mean, not in a disrespectful way at all, but like KD can create his own shot.
Yeah.
Michael can create his own shot. LeBron can create his own shot. I mean, anybody, Kawhi can create his but Giannis, if you pack the paint, like Blake Griffin guarded him that one possession that went viral, it's just tough for him to move.
Exactly.
I think Giannis can create his own shot. He's just trying to create it from the wrong place on the court.
Okay, so here's my thing: is one, put him in a pick and roll. Let him set the pick. He does not need to be the ball handler. Let him set a pick, get a switch, put him on the block, pass him the ball, or the mid post, and let him go to work immediately. But all this trying to get him at the top of the key, it's like all you got to do is pack the paint on him.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, play that wall defense, and I think, man, like off season for him, like he just needs to work on the shot, man. Like he doesn't even need to be a 3-point shooter. If he can just hit a mid-range shot, I think that alone can help bolster and change his game a ton. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing with him. I mean, he doesn't even have to be a great 3-point shooter. Or he needs to start. If he can get a mid-range jump shot, like he can hit like the little turnaround fade. He tried to shoot on hard, and we knew that was going off. You know that was going. As soon as he turned baseline, I'm like, nah, that's off. He's not making. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like that's just whoever's like.
And did you see how James like put his hand to the left, like, nah, don't even come over here?
I'm glad James did that. You know why? I think James been taking it personal with him ever since that All-Star game. Like and James ain't forgot about that. And I love that part. You know what I'm saying? I love that part of it. You know, and then Giannis post press conference, and Kevin Durant, he's the best player in the world. I'm like, come on, that's over. The series over, man. It's wrap. It's over. OV, man. Different times we live in. different times we in, bro. That's shit.
No doubt. All right, hey, Jamal, we're going to go ahead and get into it if you don't mind. We got Coach Jamal Richardson on the show with us today. Jamal is a Nashville native, played high school ball at Maplewood High School. He went on to play 3 years at Auburn University in Montgomery. And since then, he's come back to Nashville. He's training kids from what, Jamal? Kindergarten on up. I mean, you trained everything. All the way up to NBA players such as Brandon Wright, Rob Covington, Darius Garland, Garrison Matthews, Dylan Windler. He's been doing that since about 2009-10, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Well, Jamal, appreciate you coming on, man. What's going on? What's new? What's new in the basketball world with you?
Man, first and foremost, man, appreciate you guys, man. Big fans of you guys' pod, man. And just seeing you guys kind of, just evolve and elevate. Obviously have personal relationships with the both of you, man. So it's, it's only right, man. It's only right I got to come on a family podcast for sure. But, man, just, around that time of the year, off season, busiest time of the year for me right now. And, so, man, just getting these game plans put together. Guys are coming in and attacking the gym, full throttle, full-fledged. And, so it's a sun up, sundown process for me. So for the next 3 or 4 months is what I'll be doing. But, this is what I love to do. So I'm, excited about the off season. As you guys know, this is the time where you see growth, you see development, you see guys, pushing to, take that next step. So my job is to make sure they're doing that, making sure they're doing everything they need to do and taking care of their business on and off the court, more importantly. So excited about that, though, for sure.
So what made you fall in love with it, and what made you want to do it?
Man, actually, man, I tell people all the time, man, like I had no aspirations of even being a basketball trainer. If it's anybody I have to thank, it's my cousin Spencer. Spence is the one that pulled me into it. And even at that time, this is when I came back from Auburn University, Montgomery, transferred to TSU. And I was just going to school at the time. I wanted to finish my degree and stuff. But even at that time when he was trying to get me to come out, I just was not into it. I was just like, nah, I'm not interested. I'm cool. I'm good. And I don't want to do it. But, credit to him and his persistence. And I feel like, God made that happen for a reason. And so I got into it through him, started helping him out. And then it's just kind of just something that I was just addicted to. I was just hooked. And I think what made me fall in love with it is I just love the process. I love the process. I love to see the progression of people and players kind of just evolve and things that they didn't have attached to their games, just helping them evolve in that space. But also, too, just helping them off the court, helping them understand confidence, and then helping them understand who they are as a person. Mm-hmm. There's a lot that goes into being a trainer that I never really even fathomed and never even really thought about. So some of the things that we do on a day-to-day basis, not just on the court but off the court, that really goes and it really attaches to players and also to their everyday living. And I think that responsibility was something that I just fell in love with. And that was just, I feel like that was my way of giving back as a part of me serving others and giving myself to others to help them achieve some of the things that they want to do in life on the court and off the court. And, so that's what made me fall in love with it, man. I'm just, blessed and fortunate to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm. So what does the everyday life of Jamal Richardson actually look like?
Man, we get started early, man. We start our day 4:45 a.m. I like to take the first 30 to 45 minutes to myself. I like to meditate. I pray to kind of just get my spirit in line, set my mind, get my mindset together, have some me time.
How long have you been doing that? Sorry, how long have you been doing that?
Oh no, you good, man. Probably, I've been doing that for probably about 3 years now.
Okay.
So about 3 years, man. And that's kind of helped me to kind of find balance and it's kind of set the tone for the day and just making sure that I'm filled with positive energy and love and just wanting people to be excited. I want to just give people that excitement and just some joy, just regardless of what they're going through. So, and then again, it's an opportunity for me to be, connected with my spirit and making sure that I'm in tune and in line and being prepared to handle anything and everything for the day. So I do that every morning. Got to get the good old breakfast, of course. Shout out to Chick-fil-A. Shout out to Chick-fil-A.
Are you chicken minis or chicken sandwich?
Chicken sandwich, man. Chicken sandwich all day. The minis are tough. I like
chicken biscuit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a chicken biscuit guy. I just started getting on the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit too. So that's a secret. You know what I'm saying? That's a low key, low profile. Make sure y'all check out the chicken biscuit. I mean, bacon, egg, and cheese. The bacon, egg, and cheese for sure. Yeah, man. But then I'm in the gym. I start at 6 a.m. And we'll rock out, just depending on the day, depending on the number of clients I have. Normally, on average, I'm in the gym from 6 a.m. I'll probably be done by 7 p.m.
Yeah.
On average. Sometimes those days can be extended longer. I do have gaps. I do create gaps. In those gap times, I take time to watch film. And we'll also kind of just send some notes to players, during the workout, some of the things that I saw. Some of the things that we attacked and worked on, and kind of just getting pointers. And then also too, I like to get feedback from them. Try not to make it like a one-way street. I think development is a two-way street. So I think just having that dialogue and then just those conversations of how a player feels about certain aspects that we work on, and what did they feel like they did well, what did they feel like they can get better at. So. I don't want it to make it just about, what I see and what I want them to do. I like to make it a two-way street. So I do that and normally do my downtime. And yeah, man. And then once I wrap up in the gym, come home, I watch more basketball. Definitely I'm a film junkie. I will watch a game, or I may get on Synergy. Kind of just study players. I study some of my clients. I also study other players, men and women, and just finding ways to just continue to learn and evolve. And then I like to talk. I like to talk to people, man. So I talk to other trainers. I like to get get feedback from them and things to that degree. And but I normally like to shut everything down. I try my best to shut everything down by 10. by 9:30, 10 o'clock. That way I just give myself time again to kind of reset, recoup, and kind of just reflect on the day and just embrace everything and then do it all over again. So this is normally like a 6-day-a-week process, and then I like to devote one day just to no basketball. No basketball. Just kind of take time to just relax and chill and enjoy life, enjoy my family, enjoy my friends. But yeah, like I said, during the off season, man, it's grind time. So, but that's normally like a 6-day-a-week process for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So, who are your favorite players to study as of right now?
Man,
or coaches or teams.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
I got you for sure. Players wise, I got to be biased towards my guys, so I like to study Darius and Garrison and Jordan Bone and Damian, Dylan, all those guys. But I'm going to go outside of our guys. Rob too. But outside of that, Chris Paul. Love Chris Paul. Even just seeing him being
By the way, what the heck? He got hit with the COVID stuff today.
I know, man. I know. It's just he can't catch a break, man. It's crazy.
Every post, I mean, the guy is finally healthy.
Ridiculous.
He's finally healthy, and then he gets popped with a COVID test in the post.
No, I don't even think he got COVID tested. It was like COVID protocol, right? Like
I think he ended up. I thought he ended up testing. They said he ended up testing positive.
Oh,
really?
He did? I didn't see anywhere that he tested positive.
I thought I saw where he actually tested. Let me look it up real quick.
All right, while he's looking it up, Jamal, keep going.
Got you. But yeah, CP3, man, he's a guy that he's one of my favorite players. CP3 is a guy I love to study and watch. Let's see. Definitely like Kyrie, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, as we mentioned earlier. I gotta show some big some love. So I Jokic, study him a lot.
What do you hang on? What do you study? All right, so what are you looking at when you look at Jokic?
Like Jokic, I like to study Jokic's his footwork, and the way that he's able to play make and facilitate. So just studying kind of like what he sees, some of the passes and some of the plays that he's able to make to put his players, his teammates in the best position. But primarily his footwork, man, and his pace. Again, at that size, he's not the quickest, he's not the most athletic, but he has an ability to just get to where he wants to get to, obviously. And then utilizing the tools that he has, right? I mean, he's big, he's strong, but he's got a great touch, he's got a great feel, and he's very, very patient in the paint. You're not too often, the guys are not going to, you're not going to rush him. You're not going to, make him be uncomfortable.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
yep.
100% agree with everything you said. So how do you get your players, like how do you go from watching this film, learning about the footwork, the playmaking, et cetera, that Jokic has, and like bringing it over to your training? How do you use that after you've learned it?
Yeah, so I think a big part of that, again, Nate, I think that's a great question, by the way. I think a big part of that, again, is just studying the film. But then I think also, too, is understanding the type of player that I'm working with, right? Because, again, I mean, everybody isn't built like Jokic, right? And everybody doesn't have those in-depth ability to be able to make those type of plays. But I think, again, that what helps for me is, studying it, watching it, and then we'll try to emulate it as much as possible. Now it's kind of hard to do in a workout setting, of course, but kind of just giving guys a certain feel. It may be just a basic read, but it's maybe a read that Jokic that he makes that most of our guys may not even think of, right? Mm-hmm. So I think I kind of like to use like his playmaking, like in that aspect. I have a lot of help defenders. I've got some of my other coaches and interns that help out, and we'll try to recreate those situations. But again with the footwork stuff, I think that's your foundation. Footwork is your foundation. I think that's a very, very critical component in basketball, as you guys know, and it ties to everything. But with the playmaking aspect, we'll try to recreate those scenes. We'll try to recreate those situations, and we'll play live too. Like, and a lot of that we'll play live, and I'm and I'm giving them a certain criteria that they can only stick to in order to make these type of plays, right? So, okay, you can't, we're working on a dribble handoff. Well, we are coming off the dribble handoff. You've got to read the coverage. You got to read how our coaches, how they're defending the action. You know what I mean? If they're overplaying, boom, you should be making this read and kind of just learning how to, being able to use visual communication, verbal communication, physical communication, like those things that, Jokic does a great job with that. So we're trying to recreate those images and those scenes as much as possible. But it's kind of hard to do in a workout setting, but it does kind of translate, because in those, I've seen it to where, we worked on those things, and then guys are able to, when they go play, they're putting it right to work, and it's simple,
Yeah.
It's the simple stuff. So yeah, for sure.
That's great. So last question, Asa, I'm sorry to be bombarding him with questions and taking up your time.
This is your podcast too, dog.
So Jamal, how do you go about like creating workouts for players who train together but play different positions?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, man. Pretty much, man, kind of predicate. I wanted to kind of flow into what they're going to actually be doing for their specific teams and for their roles. So again, like a guard big situation. So again, we're going to put them, kind of put them in the actions that they're going to see in their offensive system. So if you're, a lot of step ups, so let's say we had like DG and Dylan, for instance, right? So with those two guys, Dylan's plays the 3, DG's at the 1. Well, we're gonna kind of create an image it to where we're gonna put them in situations where Dylan's gonna get the ball, but then also obviously with DG being a primary ball handler, right? We're gonna make sure we're putting him in the offensive sets and kind of some of the looks and schemes that they're gonna kind of scale into, with the Cavs, and then now we're going to kind of create and then divulge it to where it's going to fit right into what DG needs, but then also too, Dylan's able to get what he needs as well. So, and then, primarily too, just again, like I mentioned earlier, just kind of in terms of the roles that they serve, right? Those two guys are guys that are, knockdown perimeter shooters. And so, definitely want to make sure that we're going to kind of curtail everything around their strengths too. So, DG, for instance, he had a fantastic year 2. But I know the big emphasis for him this year is shooting more threes, getting his 3-point attempts up more. Same thing for Dylan. Dylan is a guy that, Cleveland is very high on, but, again, they feel like they want him to be way more aggressive in terms of looking to catch and shoot and looking to, getting those threes off, because again, they want his attempts to go up. And so that can kind of help with scaling the workouts to, 2 different players with 2 different styles of games, but it definitely kind of translates and correlates and making sure that we're giving them everything they need individually, but it also blends and works together, so that way they have some sort of rapport, they got some sort of chemistry, and they've got a feel for one another. So now when they play, they know exactly where each other's going to be, kind of what to look for, kind of what to do, what not to do, and things to that nature.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So last week we had your cousin Spencer on, and he pointed something out that I had noticed, but I never really pondered on it much, kind of about y'all's strengths, how you were the point guard, he's more of the shooting guard. And he kind of realized that when you came on and y'all started working together, all right, these are Jamal's strengths and these are my strengths. Talk to us about that dynamic and how you navigate through that and figure out each other's strengths to where that way you can give the person you're training, coaching the best, experience that they can have for each player. Kind of just a different dynamic between y'all two.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what makes our situation so it's what makes it work. I think that's what makes it so unique. Man, let's just let's keep it quite frank, guys. As you know, in the training world, it's very egotistical. And it can be at times where certain guys just feel like they know everything. And I know the two of us, we're two that we're very, very, transparent. I know what I do well. He knows what he does well. And so I think we're able to kind of, we definitely put our egos to the side. We never let that become an issue in regards to, working with our clients, and just understanding kind of like, who does what in some capacity and some aspect to where it works and it blends perfectly. So when we're on the court together, like me and Spencer, we're in perfect symmetry. It's almost like we're, kind of like LeBron AD type situation, right? Like we play well off each other. We know, kind of the feel of the workout, who needs to take the lead, who needs to take the step back. And so I think that's what makes us work so well. Again, and as Spencer mentioned, as you mentioned, Asa, my thing is more, ball handling, more creativity and teaching pace and teaching footwork and being deceptive and things to that degree. And Spencer's great, which you're catch and shoot, you're off the dribble shooting and being able to just get the spots and just making those split second decision plays, so he does a fantastic job at that. And I think that's what kind of makes us so special. So, and then also too, with our guys that we work with, I mean, again, like a guy like Garrison Matthews. So, Garrison, spends most of his time working with Spencer, whereas DG spends a lot of time working with me. Dylan kind of gets a blend of both, right? And so we kind of, B. Wright spends a lot of time working with Spence, Dame as well. So, we kind of, guys kind of understand, in aspect what they need or who they need it from, and they can come to either one of us. But then also too, when we come together, like it's no issue at all. Like it's always just it's easy to work with them, you know what I mean? And so we play well off each other. I'll take one segment, Spencer takes the other segment, vice versa. And then boom, we get our shots up. Guys just got a great workout in for hour 30, hour 45, boom. All right, moving on to the next, the next guy, the next girl, whatever, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, Spence, man, like I like to think that's my backcourt mate right there, man.
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why we work with them.
That's why I think y'all are so good at what y'all do, because y'all do understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. And if somebody needs to work on something, they'll send them to you. If they need to work on ball handling, send them to you. If shooting, Spencer, and y'all understand where one drops off, the other will pick up. And I think y'all complement each other so well that way.
Absolutely. Speaking
of compliment, I'm going to give you a compliment. You work with younger kids better than I have ever seen anybody in my life. I mean, Nate, it's crazy, man. This guy is he can get a 6-year-old doing a 10 count in about 3 weeks. Jamal, I'm serious, Jamal. You are so good at that stuff.
Appreciate it, man.
Is that patience, or is that in your nature? What is that?
Yeah, I think that's what it is, man. I think it's just my patience. I think just having the ability, man. One thing I started to understand with training is I realized I couldn't train everybody the same way. But I knew the one common element I can have with each person that I work with is patience. Yeah. Because one thing about training, as you guys know, it's a mastery of the ability to teach and understanding that, every player is not going to be able to pick it up when you want them to. Mm-hmm. And so there's going to be some skill or some focal point that every player is going to struggle with at some point in time in their in their journey, in their path, and that goes from, the little ones, even to our professional guys. I mean, there have been drills and stuff that we've done with our men and women pros and college players that they struggle with. But I think just having the patience and the poise, and too, I think what the patience does, it gives them a comfortable level of knowing that, okay, man, I know he really believes in me. Like, he's really, really taking his time and really wanting to help me and really encouraging me. And that goes a long way, you know what I mean? But definitely dealing with kids, man, I think that's why I continue to work with kids, because it helps me to continue to, build on my patience and help them. And just knowing, man, at some point in time, they're going to master it. They're going to get it. I mean, no different from walking, right? We all, for babies, we crawl, and then we got to that point where we're trying to, we walk, we'll stand on our feet, and then we'll fall, and then we'll take a couple of steps, and then we'll fall. But then at some point in time, over time, our parents, they're patient with us. They're holding our hands up. They're, helping us kind of walk and kind of guide us and lead us. And then at some point in time, boom, we just start walking on our own, and we don't need their help anymore. So, but that it helps a ton, man, and it gives, I think it gives kids just the most confidence in the world, And then I'm, encouraging them and pushing them and challenging them to keep at it. Even if you don't get it within this session, go home, practice. It gives you motivation. It's giving you an accountability to say, next time we come back and work out, we're going to try our best to master this. And we get it here, boom, now we're moving on to the next challenge. You know what I mean? So, but patience for sure, man. It comes from my mom and dad too, because they, they're patient. They have patient nature in them, and that's why I think I got it from them as well.
So I want to talk to you about your playing career, because you and I really haven't talked a ton about you as a player, your high school career, your college career. However, I have seen you play pickup, and you never shoot. You never shoot the basketball. I saw you play pickup today. So I think you took one shot. Talk to us about your playing career, high school, getting into college, and that experience.
Yeah, so high school, believe it or not, I know, everybody give me a hard time telling me I can't shoot, but I could shoot in high school for sure. Yeah. Like I had a clip in high school. I could really shoot it. But when I got to college, man, they tried to change my shot.
By the way, hang on, let me stop you right there. I understand why you don't shoot in pickup, because you are such a cerebral player. The last thing you're worried about is you shooting.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why, and then at my age, man, I'm 34 years old. I don't have anything to prove. So guys that I play with, I want to put them, I like to pass. I like to facilitate. I like to get guys going, and it's more so, pickup is more so for them, So when if I get my opportunities here and there, I'll take it. But for the most part, like I'm trying to, I'm a big giver. I like to see, assist thrives for me.
Sorry, I thought I muted it. Dude, my throat's been killing me.
I know you good.
You've been holding that coffee in for days.
I'm like, man, you got some water over there, man. You good, bro?
I keep sipping on it. It's not.
Nate, how long have you been holding that in?
No, I swear I could just keep muting the mic. I keep muting the mic and I keep coughing over here, and then all of a sudden I thought I pushed mute. I scared everybody.
We got to make sure we keep. I got to keep this in the interview. That's funny right there. Keep that.
No, that's staying in. That's staying in.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I think high school I was a shooter and it kind of again the same play style, just a pass first guy. Want to get everybody involved. In college, that was kind of like my role as well, man. And again, when I got to college, it kind of tweaked my shot, and then after that, I kind of just lost confidence in it. And then so I just so I'm like, man, I didn't have the luxury and the confidence to really get myself back going in that space. So I was like, well, let me, one thing I've always loved to do was pass. I can handle, I can pass, bring energy and defense. Defense was my thing too. I love to play defense. I'm a trash talker too. I thrive in that. I feel like if I can have an advantage in getting into a guy's head or just having that psychological edge to be able to, to try to overtake guys, mentally, I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? And no matter what it took, I'm not going to cross the lines and go too crazy, but I've gotten up under guys' skin and they ready to get physical and all that. But yeah, man, that's kind of me, man. I'm just that throwback pass first guy. Guys love to play with me, man. Because again, I want to see guys, just, do their thing, get them going. And I get pissed if a guy turns out an open shot. I get mad. I'll, let them know about it, but I'm coming right back to you. You know what I mean? So I just think as a point guard, that's just kind of like what my stigma is. And, that's why I feel like guys just, even at this point, guys love to play with me, man, because I'm all about winning, and Asa knows man, Maul, you didn't do nothing. Well, I won. That's all. You didn't score. You didn't. Yeah, that's cool. I know I did. I don't need to score because I got 4 other guys to do that for me.
Yeah.
But more importantly, we win, and that's what I think that's the most important thing. You know what I mean? But that's kind of like just who I was as a player, though. So yeah.
What? All right. So talking about point guard specifically, it doesn't have to be the one and only thing. But what is one of the main things that a point guard needs to understand about playing the point guard position?
Let's go ahead and change that question. Give me 3 keys to being a point guard at that position.
3. One, as you know, man, being an extension of the coach. I think having the ability to lead, to put guys in the best position possible, just holding guys accountable, but to add to that leadership component, understanding how to lead. Everybody leads in a different way. Some guys at the point guard position, they're not, like Chris Paul, who's that pit bull and, who's going to get after you, but, really get into you and hold you accountable. But, you have some guys that are, quiet nature, like on the vice versa, like a Derrick Rose, a guy that he's not really, just really loud and, aggressive, but, he leads by example. He leads through, through his actions, what I'm saying? But he's still going to be vocal. I think, being an extension of your coach. Secondly, pace. Having the ability to control the game with your pace and just with your mind. I think that's critical. If you're able to, I look at a guy like a Rondo. Rondo's a guy that can change the whole complexion of the game and not have to score and not have to, put up 25, 30 points. He's able to dictate the outcome and control the flow and control the tempo of the game just with his mind and then with his pace. I think having that ability is essential too. And then lastly, man, I think the most important thing, you got to be a player that people love to play with and play for. If guys don't like playing for you as a point guard, it's going to be hard for you. If your bigs are, they're busting their ass and they're working hard down low and you can't get it to them or y'all in pick and roll situations, you're not, looking to get them touches and, putting guys and making them be successful and helping them be successful. If guys don't like playing for you, man, this is going to be hard for you as a point guard. It's hard for you to ask of your team to do, hold them accountable and do things that you want them to do if you're not, if you're not fun to play with, if you're not a guy to say, man, hey, man, I love playing for this guy. I love playing for this PG, man, because he, that's my PG. Like, no different from a quarterback. You know what I mean? If your offensive line, don't like you and your team doesn't like you, well, your offensive line, they're not going to take care of you. You know what I mean? So I kind of look at that same, analogy with basketball too, man. If players don't like playing with you as a point guard, it's going to be tough. So I would say those three things, man, I think is just essential. And there's so much more, but those are the three things I believe in what makes, a point guard, makes them successful. So.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Excluding, I'm not talking about Darius and kind of his age. I'm talking about guys you're more your age. Who's the best point guard to come out of Nashville prior to 2005? Who's the best player to come out of Nashville prior to 2005? Oh man,
that is such a tough question.
Who's somebody that you looked at when you were at Maplewood? You were coming up that you were like, that's the dude. Like that's the dude.
Jeez, man. I'm not gonna lie. I got a name drop, man. We can start with, head coach at Tennessee State University, Brian Penny Collins. I think he just had that, Penny just had that moxie. He just had that flair to him and that attitude to him, but a very, very cerebral player. And he was one of the first point guards I seen that was, 6'4". Mm-hmm. He was a big guard. So he was like the very first big guard that I really saw and actually had a chance to compete against, man. Penny was just, he just had a way about him. He always, he was always about winning. Again, I think just, doing whatever it took. If he needed to get 25, 30, he can do that. But if he needed to get a triple-double, he can do that too. And Penny was just, Penny was an asshole too. He was an asshole on the court. I just call it what it is. He was an asshole on the court in a good way. And so you hated competing against him because he was going, when something happens, he was going to let you know about it, and you would not hear the end of it. So he was just arrogant in that space, which I feel like that's what made Penny special. Mario Moore, Mario Moore was kind of like the first player point guard I saw that was just that was a bucket. Mario could you might as well just count. You might as well just put 25, 30 in the book, in high school because he was like that. You know what I mean? He was like that. Mario, man, and he was another one, had that he was flamboyant, had that flair, had that swag to him. A guy that just, he was, he didn't care. Like he was another guy that was going to let you know about it. You know what I mean? And so, I got my first, rude awakening my freshman year. playing against Mario, that was my first time, playing varsity. That was, big stage, bright lights, big game, Antioch Maplewood. And, yeah, he hit a couple of deep threes, man. He let me know about it. You know what I mean?
That seems to be a common theme now with you and Mario and Penn. Nashville people gonna let you know about it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure, man.
Nashville people.
I give you two more, man. Marcus Kinzer.
Yeah.
Marcus Kinzer. Yeah, he was, kind of on a different scale in regards. He really didn't talk a lot. He went out there and got it done. So he was just like a perfect blend of if you need him to score, he could score. But his thing was he was more that traditional pass first guy, and his ability to see a play before it happened. Like he just had that and just that eye, just that ability just to make the play, make a pass that you never would have thought was there. But he was just quiet. He go out there, man. Look at him, you think he wouldn't. He's kind of scrawny. I can't, man. That kid can't play. And then boom, you look up, he's got 22 points, 11 assists, 6-7 rebounds. In the W. Yeah, I give you one more, man. Ron Slay, last one. I give you Ron Slay. Ron Slay, one of the OGs, man, from the city. Legend here in the city. Really, really. Ron really, wore his emotions on the sleeve, and his passion. I think it's his passion and his work ethic and his ability, man, just to, he's another guy that really made guys better. He played kind of like that fourth, 3 through 5 position, but he's kind of like that point forward almost, man. He could just do it all and do it everything. But those just a couple of guys that before my time that I idolized and watched and kind of just took bits and pieces from their games to try to just mold it after put it in my game. But those are guys that I highly respect for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, hey, you mind finishing off with some rapid fire questions with us?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right, man. Here we go. Last technical.
Last month. Team Mookie Betts, you last month. I got kicked out. So yeah.
You did?
I got kicked out the game. Yeah.
You deserve it?
Yeah, I did. I went too hard. Yeah, that's my last technical though.
That answers the next question, Asa.
No, yeah, that answers the next question. The next question was, have you ever been kicked out of a game? Obviously, we'll go with yes. Okay. You ever dunked a basketball on a 10-foot rim?
Man, absolutely. I got video footage. I got video footage on the ground. Yeah.
In game?
Oh, in game. Oh, no. In game.
They don't have to be in game. I just want to know if you had the ability to do it.
Oh, for sure. I've done both. I've done in game, and I've also done, just off whatever. You know what I mean? So I got video footage of that as well, man. So if you need to reference that, you can follow me on AAG Basketball 10 on Instagram. Just kind of scroll down, you'll see the videos out there. So yeah. Sure.
All right, you're up 3 at the end of a game. Do you foul or let it play out?
You know what, man? I'm a defensive guy, man. We're going to play it out. We're going to overtime. We're going to go in overtime. We're going to get the stop, though. I don't want to go into the back and forth. So, we're just going to lock up. We want to win this game. We got to get a stop. So,
yeah,
I think, we're going to play it out. We're going to let it ride.
All right. Okay, leave your best player in with 2 fouls in the first half.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Got to trust him. I got to trust him.
I like that. Go for the tie, go for the win.
Win every time.
Yep. All right, casual or professional on the sidelines?
Casual, man. Casual for me. Gotta be, dripped up, but casual, man. I don't want to be comfortable. If I get kicked out, at least I gotta look cool. Yeah.
All right, you said you're an early riser, early morning practice or evening or night practice?
Actually, for practice, we'll probably go, afternoon, evening. I know, those morning practices, man, guys just don't bowl well, man. Trying to get up and, you got to get yourself going. So I'd probably say afternoon, evening for sure.
Yeah. All right. If you could not be coaching basketball, what would you do?
I'll be doing electrical, computer engineering. That's what I got my degree in, and it's something, I've had fun doing before I got into basketball training. So I'll be sitting behind a computer desk, man, just probably making, drawing up some drawings keeping the lights on. That's it.
Yeah. You think you'll ever do that in the future, or?
Yeah, actually, man, I'm thinking about doing it. My dad, he's retiring next month, so he's going to start his own small practice, small consulting firm. So I'm gonna probably get back into it, just helping them out.
Yeah.
Some contracting and stuff like that. Kind of just doing it on the side here and there. You know what I mean? So for sure.
That's neat. That's cool.
Yeah.
That is.
For sure.
By the way, congrats to you and job well getting your master's in that, right? Didn't you get it in engineering?
Yeah. Did. Appreciate it, man. Absolutely. Appreciate it.
That's
I know that was a while ago, but I just wanted to go ahead and say that since you brought it up.
I appreciate that. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
You play any golf?
I'm learning. I'm starting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You got you a round in yet?
No. So I'm not ready for that. I'm only on the driving range right now. So I got to work on my pitching and putting, and I'm a sucker for the long ball, man. I like that drive. But one thing I'm learning about golf, man, you got to have a short game. The short game can bail you out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So my dad, he's shout out to Pops. He's getting me into it, and Darius' dad, Winston, shout out to him too. Yeah, he getting me into it as well, man.
You played a lot of golf?
Oh yeah. Winston plays.
I gotta talk to Winston then.
Yeah, Winston. Hey man, Winston gets it in. Him and my pops, man. They golf buddies, man. So I
gotta talk to Winston. I didn't know he played golf.
Yeah, he played golf, man. Yeah, he played golf. Yeah, so I'm gonna get into it, man. Golf is a chance. It seems like it's fun. I'm enjoying it though.
It's fun. It's the most frustrating sport you'll ever play. It's fun. Absolutely,
man. You can get hot 1 minute and then it can go downhill, in a heartbeat. So I'm kind of seeing that and sensing that. So I'm gonna stick to the driving range. Maybe go to Top Golf here and there.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Keep it. I got to start slow.
Should every team make the conference tourney?
It's tough. I'm gonna say no, man. I'm gonna say no. I think you gotta, I know it's kind of, it's kind of tough for a team at the bottom to automatically get to the conference tournament, and then who knows, man? Like they just get hot at the just randomly, you know what I mean? A 1-12 team in conference, and they end up still in the bid for NCAA tournament. So I think it's just one of those things. I think it's what makes the regular season the regular season. So I think that's what keeps the competitive part. So now I would say, you got to earn that right. No different from the NBA and any other sport. If you're not the best in your division, you don't make it. You don't qualify. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, last one: LeBron or Jordan?
I got to go Jordan. I hate doing that comparison, but I got to go. I'm just going Jordan strictly off. I grew up, watching Jordan, and he was a big inspiration to why I played the game. But LeBron in his own right has done phenomenal things, man. So I honestly don't even like doing that comparison again because they're so different in such a different way, and they impact the game in so many different ways as well. But if I had to make a choice, though, I got to go Jordan. And here's the only reason why, because he got better shoes than LeBron. That's it.
I'll take that. He does have better shoes than LeBron. He does.
Not even close.
It's not even close.
Jamal, man, thank you, dog. I appreciate you coming on. It was great to talk to you. I know you threw it out earlier, but go ahead and say it again. Where can everybody find you on Instagram or Twitter or social media, whatever?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at AG Basketball 10, and then also on Twitter and All Around Game 10 as well, man. So I appreciate you guys. Extremely proud of you, Asa and Nate, man, and seeing you guys kind of develop and just creating your own lane. And I know this is only going to get bigger and better, but I know it's organic. It's always good to see, family doing great things, man. So you guys and family, man, just want to see you guys continue to elevate and keep going, man. So keep building. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, for real. Thank you, Jamal. Well, you can find myself on Instagram at the Ace of Spades with a Z on the end. You can find Nathan on Twitter at Coach Nate Moran. You can find him on Instagram at Nate5_Moran. You can find Mind of a Coach on Twitter at Mind of a Coach Pod, and you can find Mind of a Coach on Instagram at Mind of a Coach. Jamal, appreciate you, man. Best of luck to you this summer with all the training and everything you got going on with the AAU programs y'all taking out on the road. Best of luck to you.
I appreciate you guys, man. Love you guys. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
All right, peace.